Hi guys, welcome to Amali Vlogs. Today I'm going to talk about a very important question that most of us get stuck in an interview. Have you ever been stuck and not have the confidence to answer this question? What is your biggest weakness? Or even they can come up as what your strengths and weaknesses are. Well, of course, giving an example for your strengths, it's pretty easy. You can say you're self-motivated, you can work well with the team, you have the confidence, lot of things. It's pretty easy. But talking about a weakness, we tend to keep a step back because we don't want to tell the interviewer that we are lacking something. Which most of us do have our own strengths and weaknesses. Nobody is perfect in this world. Obviously, there is no way that you can show them that you don't have any weakness. You have to find something that you can tell them which will not affect the job. So let's see how to answer these questions. I'm going to give you 5 examples on what kind of answers you can provide to this question. Before that, let's see why the interviewer wants to ask these questions. One thing is, they want to see how much you are aware of your own self, whether you know about yourself enough to figure out what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. And the other thing is, they want to see whether you are an honest candidate, whether you're open and honest on yourself, your issues, your shortcomings, your problems. That way, they can see that personality, whether you are an honest person. That is what they are looking in a candidate. Not to be perfect, but to be honest. And also, when you answer this question, make sure you put this negative prospect of your life in a positive way. Let's say the job description clearly mentioned that the candidate needs to be detail oriented, and you come up and say that you have a weakness that you are not into detail. That is clearly a red flag. So do not answer in that manner where you will lose the job opportunity. So let's see how to answer this question. The first example. Always, this is something you can tell them when they ask this question. I have a hard time saying no to something. That is my biggest weakness, which most of the times pack me with lots and lots of work. Sometimes I find it hard to handle and I get stressed and burned out. Pretty good. But also make sure you add the part of improvement to this answer. Like you can say, because I have this weakness, I decided to use kind of an app or kind of a spreadsheet or something that have a list of my tasks and what are my deadlines, so I know my capability, whether I have enough space to undertake any more projects. Which is a good answer when it comes to the question what your strengths and weaknesses are. Because that way you point out your weakness and also you show them how you're going to improve that. So let's get to the second example. Public speaking skills. Most of the time this is important but not really a mandatory skill in most of the jobs. So you can say my biggest weakness is the lack of confidence I have in public speaking. I sometimes find it hard to talk in front of a committee, talk in front of managers, talk in a public meeting. So to improve myself and gain confidence on public speaking, I attended many seminars and many events on improving the public speaking skills. So I believe now I am getting into the habit of talking in front of people, and I'm improving myself. Which is another good example for that question. So let's get to number 3, which is I do not have a work-life balance. I find it hard to have a work-life balance due to the fact that I tend to focus too much on work. I enjoy work a lot, so I tend to find less time to be with my family. Which is another weakness, right? So you can say that, okay, just to improve that work-life balance, now I have allocated a timetable for my weekends so that I spend time with my kids and also I meet my deadlines. So things like that, you can say you have a time management app, you can say you have a task list that you follow, or you can say you maintain a calendar that you have specific time for work and specific time for kids activities, family activities. So you tend to improve yourself by giving that time, you're allocating time for both professional and personal work. So let's get to number 4, which is I have a hard time letting go of a project. That is another weakness you can point into. Because when you have that weakness, you tend to work on improving the project, making it perfect, and you don't want to you keep checking the project, keep improving, keep focusing on the perfection of the project, and finally you can see that you're almost reaching the deadline and you're stressed out and you cannot submit the project on time because you tend to make it perfect. To improve this issue that I tend to have a deadline and 2-3 checkups on my project before I submit, and once I check through one time and the second time I finish it off. Let's get to number 5. So the last one that I want to talk about here is you can tell them that you focus too much into detail, that you spend a lot of time and you find it hard to finish a project on time. So that is another weakness you can come up with, and the same time you have to mention something that you're gonna do to improve that weakness, to improve yourself. Like you can say, I focus too much, but now I realize it doesn't help me because I sometimes go over the deadline because of that. So I tend to look into the project 1 or 2 times and I change the necessary details, and then I move on to the next step of the project. So whichever the way that you have improved yourself, you can tell that. Okay, so apart from these 5, you can always find some weakness that you have, but make sure that you back it up with a positive way that you are planning to improve it. That is the most important part of answering this question. Okay guys, so I hope you got a clear understanding on how to answer this question. So let's meet up on another video that I'll explain more about job opportunities and a lot of things on your personal development as well. So until then, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel so you will be notified as soon as I upload my next video. I'll see you then. Bye bye.